Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Clifford's Corner, where we encourage, empower, equip, we educate, and we entertain you. I hope that everybody made it through the storm. If you had storm damage, we will be praying for you, of course. But we want to jump right in. And first of all, I want to recognize our sponsor for the show, Golden D Hairline Hair Care products, weaves, wigs, eyelashes, and so much more. Visit their website at goldendhairline.com. So today's topic is something that is controversial. It's trivial. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. To side piece or not to side piece? That is the question. The Urban Dictionary describes the side piece as the other woman. But just for today, we're not going to identify the side piece gender based, because you can be a dude and be a side piece. You can be a dude and be a side piece. So to help me make sure that I understand I'm going to bring in some guests. Bring them in. There we go. I want everybody to say hello to Mia and Jason. Hey, hello.
How you doing? It's Jason.
Good. So just for the sake of argument, I just gave, let me give you my definition of side piece. So just in case you guys didn't hear me, the Urban Dictionary, and of course I use the internet as my go-to for all the information, because the internet cannot be wrong. For the definition, I use the Urban Dictionary because we keep it real. Says that the side piece is the other woman. So I told our listeners that just for today, the side piece is it can be a guy as well. So Mia, I'm gonna let you go first. Tell us what your definition of side piece is.
A side piece can certainly be a woman or man, and they would be engaged in a relationship with a person who is in a serious relationship that is supposedly monogamous. And whether they know it or not, we never know. A lot of people discover that they are the side guy or side girl. However, somebody is in a serious relationship, and this person is just a relief and somebody to have a good time with.
Okay. And she used that word, $50 word, monogamous. I bet it's 100 people out there don't even know what monogamous means. And if they do know what it means, I bet they can't spell it. J-Dub, okay, give me your definition, sir.
The side piece is a relationship or relationship-like enjoyment on the side of a main relationship. It has to be unknowing to the person in a relationship who's not part of that actual side piece relationship. But again, I like to say relationship or relationship activities, but it's something that is ongoing. So it's not like a one-time thing. It's something that is either, it could be an agreement, or the person that side piece cannot know. So
okay, wait. Let me stop. So does the agreement, is that verbal or is that in writing? How is that done?
Well, nothing should be in writing. That would be not. But I say agreement in the sense that there are some people who are the side piece and know they're the side piece. There are some people who are the side piece and they don't know they're the side piece. So, but I would argue most of the time that person knows that the other person's in a relationship, and not all the time.
Wow. Okay. So, and I don't want y'all to blast anybody's name, but do you all know someone that is unknowingly a side piece? I mean, you know it, but they don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. I know quite a few that are, but that do not know. Not very sure.
Okay. I mean, in the past, I have known people that were the other person and completely unaware of it, were brought around a particular group of people, and just the facade was maintained. This is my girlfriend, boyfriend, when most of the people there are completely aware that there is an actual serious public supposed monogamous situation going on outside of this, and it's a shameful display, to bring this person around.
Right. And I don't know about you. I would feel kind of awkward if let's say I know a guy that's married, and like I have a barbecue in my house, and he shows up with somebody else. Me personally, I'm going in on you right off the bat. I don't even want you around me like that, because to me, that means I'm down with it. And if I got a sister, you do something to my sister like that, hey, I'm gonna need some commissary money, because it's gonna go down. So go ahead.
So let me ask you this, Cliff. So if that happens, somebody shows up, they have a date with them, you're automatically engaging in a negative conversation, or you just asking them what's going on? Because they can really, maybe share some things with you that you were completely unaware of.
That might be true. I probably would not initially, not initially just jump on them, but like once you get in, hey dude, where's your wife? And then, if he goes to spitting and spatting, then I know something's up. And if he tells me that's his cousin right off the bat, you out the door, because I know you're not, because when you showed up, there probably was an invitation, and hey, you bringing your wife? Yeah, I'm bringing my wife. Or hey, I'm bringing my girlfriend. Whatever. It's just, excuse me. I'm pretty sure there are people that have been put in awkward positions like that. As a matter of fact, quick story. When I was in the military, this guy I hung out with, we kicked it all the time, and we went out on the weekends, blah blah blah. And his wife stopped me one time, and she came to the barracks one time and said, and I introduced myself, and she said, "So you're the guy that's going out? Why you and my husband got to go out all the time?" And I just kind of played it off like, oh, well, we just going. But then when I saw that dude, I was like, man. So what he had been doing was he was telling his wife he was going out with me when he was actually out doing his dirt. So again, being a side piece is traumatic. I think the after effects, particularly if there are children involved. Okay, so let me back up. Let me back up. So is there a good reputation for a side piece? Tell me the good. Tell me something that good can come out of that. Either one of you go.
I mean, you can always Alicia Keys it. I know some people who have went from the side piece to the main person, but it's very rare. As far as are there any benefits? I mean, while you're in it, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And for some people, as long as the ride is great, the crash isn't that bad. But that's gonna depend on the person. So good, great. That's all subjective to that person and to what their priorities are.
Right, Mia.
So I don't think that side chicks have a good reputation at all. But and I have several negative things to say about.
And I definitely want to hear the negative.
Women who would intentionally disrupt a relationship that is clearly in trouble, right? Because this person isn't courageous enough to address whatever problems that they may be having. Instead, they are stepping out and just developing an outlet. However, the development of that outlet sometimes is the very thing that saved their relationship. So some side chicks need a thank you card for getting people through a rough patch. Wow. Because that distraction may have just been the thing that got the couple through whatever they may not have been able to overcome had that distraction not been there.
Wow. Okay. So now, okay. So I can see now that, and that's really good remarks. I appreciate that. How the side piece jarred the relationship and made either one of them fly straight. I get that, but I'm hanging my hat on the part where it seems like in some instances the side piece is an opportunist.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it waits for and clearly the side piece might have, you don't know how they encounter each other. Let's say for this particular show they knew the guy. I'm going to use they knew the guy, and they knew because of the woman sharing their intimate relationship comments with her. Well, we having problems, and then next thing you know, she's texting the dude. Hey, your wife talked to me, and you have problems, and he unwillingly, text back because he think they're cool. And next thing you know, the text start turning a different way. So I'm a firm believer that men and women, whether they're married or not, can have friends. Now, I'm married, and I'm saying this live, and I know my wife does not pick my friends for me, period, under any circumstances. And I don't pick them for her. There's a trust that has been established where she doesn't, I've seen a lot of guys where, when their phone rings and their gal's around, when he puts the phone down, they ask who it is, or who's he talking to, and all this other stuff. The only thing my wife will say if my phone is ringing is, come in here, turn this phone off so it'll stop ringing, or whatever. Turn your alarm off, turn your text message. So the side piece seems to weave their way in through, where there's a breakdown. Now, I'm not seeing how the side piece what is too far as a side piece? Is it becoming intimate? Is it a text message? Is it a phone call? Where does this start to become a problem? Either one.
Well, I think first to respond to you, what you just said is operating under the assumption that all side pieces happen with malicious intent, which I don't necessarily think is true, right? So it could be that there was just some sort of hookup, chemistry. Maybe the guy didn't tell the girl at first, or the girl didn't tell the guy at first. And although when that person found out it wasn't great, they decided to stay because there was some sort of connection. I don't think that I don't like to look at it as some sort of predatory thing, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna get over on your wife, or I'm gonna get over on your husband. I mean, that kind of brings like this one boxed version of side pieceology into it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily correct, even though it's never a good thing, right? So there's bad and there's bad with malicious intent. So I don't think it's ever a good thing. So that's my only counter to what you said on that one angle.
Okay.
But yeah, that question was,
how far? He's just saying, at what point have you gone too far? And I mean, really, it starts with communication. That is the basis of a relationship. So if you are engaged in any level of communication that you wouldn't be able, Cliff, you're saying, hey, my spouse and I don't choose each other's friends. We, are free to do what we want there. Well, if you engage in any sort of conversation that your wife cannot review or see, or anything that you wouldn't want to be seen by anybody other than that person, you've already stepped over a line.
Right.
And it may escalate, it may not, but right there is really too far.
Right.
That's pretty much the line of demarcation, right? So first of all, what's the level of too far on the side piece? Well, if you have one in the first place, right, where's the good spot? So that's going to start off. But as far as like what now constitutes being a side piece, or what constitutes going too far in a relationship, that's really going to depend on that relationship. But if you don't have clarity on that, if whatever you're partaking in, the person with you would not be okay with it, well, there's your line. There's your line, right? You have to use that yourself.
Right. So it seems like, go ahead, Mia.
Jason mentioned earlier, and I agree with him, that an actual side piece is somebody you've engaged in a relationship with. This is not a situation where you have a person that is just, for lack of better words, loose, and they just hook up with people randomly all the time. But it's not the same person, which is a completely different thing to deal with. If you find out that your significant other is out here kind of meeting people and engaging in activity with them, but it's random people, right then and there that you have something to address with them, right? Because there's something going on with them, period. But when you have a whole relationship going on, now you have two people and you're really wondering, okay, that's it. If the person you're in a relationship with has a whole other relationship, that says a lot about the condition of y'all's situation. And whether or not, a lot of people aren't aware that their situation is that bad, that somebody went out and created a second relationship in order to supplement or fill in a gap.
Okay. Let me pull over real quick and recognize our sponsor. Our sponsor today is Gold D Hairline Hair Care Products, weaves, wigs, eyelashes, and so much more. Visit the website at goldandhairline.com. There we go. Okay, so I understand about the side piece. I understand the whole concept, whether they went in maliciously, whether they didn't go in maliciously, where there needs to be. And it seems the boundaries should be set in a relationship, whether you're just dating, whether you plan on getting married. Everyone, you should not, and I guess that's why you shouldn't get married like right away. You should get to know that person, so that way hey, it's cool. In my sexting, I believe that's the word that is called, something that's inappropriate. To if I text a woman and say, "Hey, I saw you today, man, that dress was hidden." I don't think my wife would be happy with me saying that. Now, here's the get out of jail free card. I can say it to myself and not get in trouble, but I don't have to share that. I mean, I think there's a line, and you have to be careful what you say. And in the scheme of things, side pieceology, that means Jason said that the study of side piece, just in case you all are interested in knowing that. It seems like the residue from side piece action can be traumatic and even lead to divorce. I knew someone that was cheating on their spouse, like a long time. This is when I was in the military, a long time since the day. As a matter of fact, when I first saw him, he was with his girlfriend, and then I never knew who he was. And then we had like a get together, and he showed up with his wife. And in the Army, we stick together. I mean, we down. We don't. Everybody was telling me, hey, don't say anything. That's his wife. And what got to me was everybody was cool with that. They were cool. I guess we're cool with not snitching. So how would you feel if your homeboy, your homegirl, whatever, showed up with another dude at your, at your job, or you go out somewhere, you at Papados and you see her walk in or him walk in with somebody that is not there? How do you respond to that? Do you go and say, hey, who introduced me to you or whatever? How do you do that?
I think there's a friend code, right? First of all, never put me in a bad situation, especially without me knowing about it, period. Right? So if you do that, I'm now questioning our friendship, right? Because now to me, you're pimping our friendship and you're pimping my situation. So to me, that's unacceptable at all, right? But even like if you let me know, most likely I'm going to tell you I'm not cool with it, right? Because one thing about like when you're cheating or when you have 2 relationships or 3 relationships, you have to remember what you said to who and what you did with. And I'm not doing that for you. I'm not going to remember. All right, now we talked about going to this Rockets Bucks game with your wife, or like I'm not doing that. So to me, I look at it as a sign of disrespect, and it also makes me feel like, bro, you're incredibly sloppy. Like full disclosure, I had somebody who I was close to that had a side piece, and as they were together, that person got more and more comfortable. Uh-oh. So then that person will start showing up to things that either he showed up with his wife with, or something that like we would just go to and they would just pop up. And I'm like, oh no, that's not how this works. And in this situation, I'll let you know I left. And that's just because I left first and foremost, because I feel like you put me in a very weird situation. Don't ever do that again. And second of all, don't have me bond with your wife. And then, you know what I mean? Like, don't have me get close to your wife. And now I'm supposed to, because now I have to be fake. And if I'm going to be fake, let me be fake on my own. I'm not going to be fake because you put me in some sort of weird situation. So, nah, that's unacceptable.
Wow. It says a lot about a person's character, and it really it makes you question a friendship. You brought somebody around me and said that this was your wife, and at the end of the day, what Jason is explaining is I have more respect for your relationship than you do. So maybe you really aren't the caliber of person I even want to associate with, because it's flat out disrespectful. You put me in an awkward situation, and I don't appreciate it, and maybe we just look at relationships differently, and that's fine. But, take your girl or your guy and kick rocks, and, maybe we'll see each other, maybe we won't. In terms of seeing someone out, this is my friend or my friend's spouse.
Wow. Okay.
That I see out. I'm asking you a question. When I go out, when I run into somebody going out, you ask a question. Is it my friend that I see out with somebody, or their spouse that I see out with somebody?
It's your friend out with someone else. Yeah.
Check on literally can't get through the door very well before you getting called to the side. Like, what's going on? Right. What are you doing?
Right.
And the fact that, like Jason's mentioned, incredibly sloppy. If you ran into me, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, this is crazy. You just out here with this person, like you don't have a whole situation.
Right. Right. Well, and I think that given the city that we live in, I'm pretty sure that they're like, well, I live on that north side, so I'm gonna go way out here in Pearland somewhere, and nobody's gonna see me. But there's always that opportunity, always that chance, and that opportunity. Absolutely. So let me ask you all this. Give me. Now you have to reverse it. If somebody was looking for a side piece for just emotional support, somebody to talk to, I don't know if that qualifies them to be a side piece. I think it would, depending on what you're saying. Do you give them a pass for that?
A relationship is a friendship first. Any good relationship, you're friends first. So you don't have to be intimate with somebody to. I mean, of course, in relationships, that's the big the big thing. Have you had sex with them? But the truth is, I mean, the betrayal may be far more egregious depending on the level of emotional support they're giving each other. Because if you've been revealing to this person things that you should be revealing to me because I'm supposed to be the closest person to you, that's far worse than just having sex with somebody and then letting it be that. And you have to wonder, have you been talking about me to this person? Like, all of that stuff is very, very hurtful, far more hurtful than somebody saying, look, it was just a fling. I went out, maybe I had one too many drinks, and this is what happened. Haven't talked to that person again.
Right. Now, I wish I had my DJ set up. I would have played "Blame It on the Alcohol," whatever that song. Right. I got that I have that in my library, by the way. So Jason, go ahead. You look like.
So two things. While I've agreed with everything Mia said, one thing that she said that I don't think it's necessarily true is a side piece does not always constitute a lack of something in a relationship. Sometimes people just greedy. You know what I mean? And like they're just greedy, and you can go to a steak restaurant and then like, man, that blackened chicken looks great. Let me just get that blackened chicken too. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. But as far as what you said, I'll say this, and it's weird, and this is not me promoting. I know a relationship that was doing really bad. And that relationship, the guy, and I knew both of them very well, the guy ended up getting a side piece. Shortly after that, the girl ended up getting a side piece. Strangely enough, their relationship was never better. like whatever they were lacking, I don't know if it was a thrill or whatever they just didn't have or whatever. For that one situation, their relationship got better. Now the only problem is eventually, as it got better, it was enough for one of them to say, you know what, let me drop this side piece, and the other one did not drop it for a long time. Mm-hmm. I don't think that both of them knew for a fact that the other had a side piece. But I think they had ideas. And so for their relationship, kind of like I think Mia said very early in the segment, I think it did kind of help their relationship. That said, I would not look at that as the blueprint. I would look at that as the exception to the rule. So
right.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, because I don't think my wife is gonna co-sign on me, put in a request for a little side piece. So wait, so we have established that a side piece, and I believe Mia said this, is not necessarily sex. And I think people automatically think side piece means, oh man, I'm smashing whatever. That's not always what it's about. However, there's a high percentage that it is, but sometimes it's not. It could be just for emotional, somebody to talk to. It could be for not financial reasons. You know, some dude might find some chick that's loaded, and and he's married, but he's trying to supplement his income. I mean, does he get a pass?
No.
No.
No. You still. What do you mean? Go get a job. You need some more money? You might need to get a better job. You might need to talk to your partner for them to get a better job. All of this, even I agree with Jason. Some people are just greedy, right? But the bottom line is anybody engaging in a side piece relationship wasn't courageous enough to say to their partner, this is not working. Whether we, say, hey, it's going to be an open relationship or we're going to be friends, this person simply was not courageous enough to address whatever issues they were having or expressing their need to have more people in rotation, right? So no, you don't. If you needed more money, you still need to talk about that. Hey, we need some more things. I need you. Hey, girl, I need you to spoil me a little more. Maybe she can, maybe she can't. But you can't step out on her and then go, well, remember, you didn't have enough money to buy me new Jordans. No.
Yeah, that sounds like another argument right there. You just
exactly right. That's no excuse at all for that sort of thing, and it happens a lot. The side piece is a good time person. Your side piece, you're not sitting staring at them. You're not sitting doing mundane things with them. It's a good time that both of you all are dressed to impress. You're going to do some sort of activity. You're probably going to engage in intimacy. When you see that person, it's for a short period of time, and it's a thrill. It's really exciting.
Right.
I mean, to me, at the end of the day, right? So, like, I don't even feel the need to get to a character description, right? Like, I'm not even gonna call you a coward or anything of that nature, right? Every relationship is different. Every situation is different. What I will say is, at the end of the day, it's deceiving no matter what. The whole purpose of a side piece is that person who you are stepping out on, whatever stepping out may be, whether that be intimate, financial, love, if that's what you want to call it. At the end of the day, that person's not under the understanding this is happening, and it's deceiving. And I don't think anybody wants to be deceived. And so it's going to be really hard for you to somehow make deception some sort of positive thing.
Right. So let me ask you all this, and this is just simple, yes or no. Do you think you could recover relationship wise from not knowing you were strung along for 20 years? Well, let's shorten it, 3 years as a side piece. Let's say where you just met somebody, and they came off as being single, free, yada yada yada, and then you find out 3 or 4 years later that you've been strung along. Is there a way to patch that up? Is there a way to say, hey, well, I didn't know, and I love them so much. I mean, how do you get through that?
So you're saying if we ended up being the side piece, but we didn't know?
Correct.
It depends. It depends on the foundation or whatever you're looking for in that relationship, right? So, like, if it's a full out, hey, we may have a future together, long-term relationship, cannot recover. It's going to be hard because, like, the foundation's cracked. Yeah. But again, all relationships aren't really based off of that, right? Like, some relationships are strictly sexual. Some relationships are just passing the time, have a good time. You know what I mean? Some of them could be for different things. But assuming that I had the goal of a long-term outlook of a possibility of being together forever, could I recover off of that? I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Let me, before you vote, Mia, I'm going to say impossible. Particularly when I find out, I'm gonna be like, no.
I'm completely really aligned with Jason's response. I mean, if you thought, what I'm thinking here is, for 3 or 4 years, has my head been stuck in a cloud or what? Because we got a couple of things. I don't know how I missed that you have a whole nother serious situation after that long period of time, which lets me know the level of familiarity I have with this person. So they've been concealing a lot from me, right? And then the question goes to, once I find out I'm a side piece, do I realize that everything that I built this relationship on was a lie? Because you could never give me all of the things you said you were going to give me. So now I'm looking at you like this. You've been stringing me along this whole time. So I've lost any hope of having a long-term relationship with you because I realized it was all a farce. You were never serious.
Right, right, right. Well, I will say that I'm almost certain that there are instances where someone has been strung along for a long period of time, and I'm like you, Mia. I'm trying to figure out, how do you not know that, is that guy or that girl, whoever is handling the playbook of the side piece, is their offense that good that, that I can't tell if they blitzing. I mean, they defense. I can't tell if they blitzing. The corners are coming up to the receiver and then they're backing off. Are they that good to cover that, or am I just that stupid?
It depends on the setup, right? So, like, let's say that your 3 years was long distance, right? Yeah, there's a chance. Again, one thing that I always try to do is I never try to give an overarching answer group, because everything's not the same. Right. And I also don't want to give this insinuation that the person who was being the unknowing side piece is somehow dumb. Right. I will say you probably want to check your antennas to make sure they're working correctly. Right. Because at some point, something should have given it off, but there's a chance that it didn't. But again, to give a second part to that answer, even on that very small sliver of a chance that we somehow make it, we're probably not going to make it during that one era of relationship. Like, when I find out, well, we're done, right? Right. Is there a chance that somewhere in the future we can reconnect? I don't know, maybe. But at that time, I don't think I'm going to be like that person, just be like, man, that was messed up. All right, let's just be in a relationship, together forever. Like, no, it's not going to be smooth. Definitely not going to be smooth. But I don't know. It's hard to say until I'm in that situation.
Right. I think that would exhibit, is the word I'm going to use, a ton of love, a ton of respect, because in the back of my mind, I'm always suspicious of people anyway. I'm thinking, okay, if you did this to me while you were with someone, then let's say we decide that, we're gonna be together. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what, you might do it to me, and then I might not know, and and then you got the best of both worlds, per se. Let's wrap things up. So, Mia, two things, and then Jason, you go after her. Pros and cons of side piece, closing remarks of side piece. If you know somebody that's a side piece, give them some encouragement. If you know somebody that's the victim of being a side piece, let me say it that way. If you know someone that is the victor, let me say it that way, of handing out the side piece, give them what would you tell them?
I would tell side pieces to self-evaluate and make sure that they love themselves enough to understand they're deserving of individuals' undivided support and attention. And anybody that is engaging in pursuing a side piece, I would encourage them to be courageous enough to address the issues in their relationship.
Right. Jason?
Pros and cons. I mean, I'm sure while it lasted, it was great. It was fun. Whatever y'all were in that for, you probably got it for some period of time. That's probably a pro. Another pro is you probably got to get some tax credits in certain spots, and I mean tax credits. You may got some free time. You didn't have to spend all the time. Like, you may have been around just for the sex, but not around for the arguing and nagging. Who knows, right? The con is you're always hurting somebody, whether they know it or not. You're hurting somebody in the process, and a lot of times that somebody is yourself as well. Another con is you're never going to get to finish your meal. You know what I mean? Like you don't have that person. You don't have all that person. So if you're having a great steak, when you get to them last 4 bites, they taking that plate away. And so it's hurtful. And at the end of the day, you have to know that you're responsible for that hurt. What would I tell to somebody who is a side piece? Really evaluate it. Know who you are and what you're getting into. Keep your expectations in check. And at the end of the day, this isn't going to end well. One way or another, it's going to end bad.
Right.
Well, knowing that it's going to end bad, was it worth it? For somebody who is unknowingly or who finds out their side piece, I'll say this, man, life happens. One great thing about the heart is something that can recover. If you find out that somebody had a side piece on you, don't be damaged for life, because you just ruin yourself for the next person. So, this is the world. At the end of the day, nothing's going to break you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you want to try to be good people. And if you feel like, this is fine, then you might not be as good of a person as you may think.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. You have something else, Mia?
No, that was a good one. No, Jason is just saying what Jason is saying. I personally know people that are anti-side chicks and then become a side chick and have all the justification in the world. When the truth is, you just weren't the person that you said you were, and are doing what feels good to you and not what's good for you, And so, yeah, like he said, you're just not as good of a person as you portrayed to be.
Right. Okay. Hey, so thank you guys for coming on the show. I'm going to do this openly, so this way, this YouTube is worldwide. So I'm asking you on the air. Anytime I have a controversial topic, I'm going to have you guys on as regulars or special. Shake head, me, you're not nodding your head. So everybody, okay, there you go. Have you guys on as guests on Clifford's Corner, and welcome aboard. So thank you guys for sharing your time. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, so there we have it. The show, The Side Piece. Don't forget, next month we will be giving out a $25 e-gift card. You have to be qualified for the gift card. You have to like our Facebook page. You have to follow us on Instagram, and you also have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, next month we're going to be giving away a $25 e-gift card. Don't know which show. I'm not going to tell you. That means you got to stay tuned. You have to like our Facebook page. That's Clifford's Corner. You have to follow us on Instagram, and you also have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, our sponsor for today's show, Golden D Hairline, hair care products, weaves, wigs, eyelashes, eyelash extensions, and much more. Visit their website at goldendhairline.com. So that's going to wrap it up for us right now. And so I want to make sure that you guys have enjoyed the show. Email us and tell us your comments that you have for the show. Make sure that you can follow us and like our pages and all of that. If you have suggestions for the show, go ahead and email us at thecliffordscornershow@gmail.com. Once again, if you have a suggestion for the show, email us at thecliffordscornershow@gmail.com. Let me leave you with this thought. Never look forward in fear. Never look back and regret. Thank you. See you later.